Welcome to your one source of truth news. After the definition of heatwave was changed by experts, other experts have predicted an unprecedented once in a 100-year heatwave. And their experts say if lots of your money is taken, it will prevent future heatwaves. Amazingly, after changing these goalposts, their predictions of a 2-day heatwave during an Australian summer actually came true. And experts everywhere are relieved as their high salaries have been vindicated. Crazy non-expert conspiracy theorists are ludicrously saying that if no attention was brought to it, it would have gone by unnoticed. Thankfully, another group of experts talking to yet more experts have expertly extinguished these non-expert voices because others were saying the conspiracy theorists have themselves been on fire for quite some time now. The Victorian government have paid expert friends millions of dollars to improve the fire danger warning system. To fan the flames of fear around man-made climate change, experts flew first class to a drowning island resort and spent a week flooded in taxpayer luxury only to realise they hadn't yet figured out a solution. However, on the final day, and while gorging their way through yet another $500 plate degustation, this time having ordered the 3 Michelin star rainbow desserts to tick their diversity checkbox, took sudden inspiration and then used their grade 1 cut and paste skills on this final day to brilliantly add a new slice to the colour wheel. Someone else looked up a thesaurus to do the rest. It is thought to have cost as much as the new $10 million Made in Australia logo, which inspired the 2022 Catastrophic Contagion logo. Amazing teamwork there. Victorian experts expertly experted us in saying catastrophic does not represent fires being more catastrophic due to the non-jab firefighters still not being allowed to save lives and fight fires, but that the term was inspired by their 20 combined room service bills. Experts who have not allowed these very experienced firefighters to work over the last 3 rather risky fire seasons say firefighters will be out of action for as long as it takes them to comply, and that more lives will be saved as a result. But like the heavily reduced Victorian police force now spending millions on ads to request you email them instead of calling 000, if you see a fire, send a courteous email. Make sure it signs off with your preferred pronouns and an acknowledgement of the land that is being burned in front of you. Otherwise, you will be deemed racist and added to the recycle bin folder, which is symbolically placed to the far right of their screens. As electricity poles burnt down and solar panels melted in the first day of the most recent fire, the now electric fire trucks had to stay home with the non-jabbed firefighters. The electric battery of one truck exploded at the station, causing a massive fire. The fire spotter chopper was called away from the other raging fires to assess the situation at the fire station, but got a bit lost in the thick black smoke and crashed into a non-spinning wind turbine. Environment experts say if we had cut down all the forest to plant solar farms, we would have prevented climate change and saved all the trees from burning. The government held a press conference 1,000 kilometres away from this catastrophic situation and congratulated themselves for bringing in electric-powered fire trucks, creating more sustainable air. But as power bills have themselves become catastrophic, no one had their TV on to watch them govern so expertly. Victorian farmers who are still rebuilding basic farm fences and waiting for that funding promised 4 years ago after the 2019 devastating fires aren't too impressed with mega supermarket chains offering them a chop out by forcing them to chop their produce prices. But the people still wearing masks after 3 years of shopping at supermarkets, which they are assured has prevented them from dropping dead in the aisles, are congratulating mega chains for reintroducing paper bags to save the planet, which they had originally phased out to save the shareholders. I think that means planet. Mask wearers have been assured that the growing number of mask wearers dropping dead in the aisles is because of climate change, and their reintroduction of paper bags will prevent this in the future. This brave move to paper bags helps deflect attention away from the steep inflation of groceries, as the single person who now runs an entire store is helping customers who are wearing their 1800th disposable mask feel like they are saving starving children in Africa from climate change. As generic customers like you and me walk around the long aisles of fresh produce housed in many thousands of single-use thick plastic containers, this paper bag move also has a secondary purpose, as it can be used to hyperventilate in when the final cost of your grocery bill pops up on the screen. Mask wearers walking the heavily air-conditioned aisles are not bothered by the inflation because they know in the long term the increased cost of everything is about reducing the earth from warming up a smidge. And because they can purchase a reusable bag with a culturally appropriated Aboriginal design on it, also feel like they are part of the solution to racism. As mega chains begin the process of going cashless, employees who were told they were the bee's knees during the COVID response are finally starting to realise they are even less important than the robot attending to the suddenly drop dead person in aisle 9. The tiny cohort of those still employed as customer care employees to monitor the self-serve checkouts and minimise theft are now lining up for their 5th jab because the shareholders, getting richer from these technological moves, really care about them as individuals. They said they are fine with their mega chain going cashless as they will just get a jab job somewhere else. But after realising the fitness requirements required to be a firefighter also won't be putting out fires anytime soon. As Australia is no longer acknowledged as a first world country, fortunately, if a catastrophic fire does take off, foreign firefighters can be flown in from the Philippines. Don't forget to buy this biodegradable single-use t-shirt to stop climate change. So long, bigots, and thanks for all the fish.